And a pleasant good evening to you and yours, and welcome to the Brevard Sports Network special presentation of the BSN Prep Softball Game of the Week. Tonight it's brought to you by Kendall Signs. Kendall Signs, installation, fabrication, everything you need from a sign company and more. Tonight's also brought to you by EG Kicks. Check them out on Instagram at EGKICKZ for the line of inventory and prices. We are live from USSSA Stadium, Space Coast Complex, where tonight it's the Viera Hawks and the Rockledge Raiders. The Hawks last year off to a 1-5 start. This year, completely different. Outstanding softball game the other night as they defeated a very, very good Treasure Coast team 6-2. A game in which tonight's pitcher, Skylar Wagoner, went 7 innings, gave up 3 hits, 2 runs, both of them earned, walked just one, and struck out 17 batters. As for the Rockledge Raiders, they too got off to a great start. They were 18-6 last year under fifth-year head coach Scott Thomas. Last year, or their first game of the year, they defeated the Astronaut War Eagles 15-3. Couple of Raiders in that one with multiple hit performances. In fact, 5 players with a multiple hit game in that. Dalek was 3 for 4 with a couple of ribbies. Mikowski 3 for 5 with 2 RBIs, 2 doubles. Aravina, Peters, and Perez all with 2 hits in the game. The Rockledge Raiders and the Viera Hawks right here on BSN as we get set to get underway for the Rockledge Raiders. The leading off, it's going to be Riley Mikowski. Batting second is going to be Aravina. Batting third is going to be Erica Perez. Batting fourth is going to be Lauren Scharfenberg. Batting fifth, I'm trying to read my own writing here, is Kaylee Bowles. Batting sixth is going to be, we'll give you the first 6, and then it's going to be Brielle Nelson. Once again, for the Viera Hawks in the circle tonight, it's going to be Skylar Wagoner, the Jacksonville State commit, 17 strikeouts in her first outing this year. We'll take you around the Hawks infield here from left to right. It's going to be Sardono in left, Ryder in center, Samuels in right. Strike one. Around the infield, it's going to be Schneider at third. Over at short, the Pitt commit, Amaya Pitt. Over at second, it's going to be Connolly. Over at first, Barry. Behind the plate, yep, she's built Ford tough, Maddie Ford. And in the circle, Skylar Wagoner. And drops a bunt down, and that pitch is fouled off, and that'll be strike 2. No balls and 2 strikes. This started off here. Glad you could be with us here tonight on an absolutely gorgeous night on the Space Coast. Quite honestly, when is it not lately? The 0-2 coming to the leadoff hitter. And slapped foul. Riley Mikowski, just a sophomore. Mikowski tonight will be Wagoner's mate in the circle. The on-deck hitter is and there's a shot foul again, is Daphne Aravina. What a great career Daphne's had. And more to come. She's just a junior. Hawks are 12-5 all time against the Raiders. However, and there's a chopper back to Wagoner. Gets past her, and the little flip there. Nice job by the second baseman for the Viera Hawks, Connolly, as she flips it over to the first baseman for the first out in the top of the first inning. That's going to bring up Daphne Aravina. Good at-bat, though, for Mikowski. A familiar duo, Wagoner to Ford. And Aravina will step in and look at the first pitch offering from Wagoner, and that'll catch the corner for strike 1. How we looking, Caleb? All right. I just call you Colib. That's strike two as she took and pulled the string on that one. So she is ahead of her second consecutive batter, 0-2. She went 0-2 to Mikowski. And she's 0-2 to Aravina. Erica Perez on deck, the 0-2. That's about as close as that was off the plate. That's a good call by the home plate umpire, but an outstanding waste pitch by Skyler. The 1-2 coming. That's foul tipped, hung on to by Maddie Ford. That'll be strikeout number 18 on the year, number 1 tonight. 2 outs. As Erica Perez steps in. Perez, one of the Raiders with multi-hit game the other night, as Rockledge put up 15 runs on Astronaut. Once again, Scott Thomas, the skipper. He's in his 5th year. He's 64-25. 2 outs here, top of the first. Wagner winds, rocks, fires, strike 1. Great looking camera angle there, Caleb. I wouldn't touch a thing all night, other than left and right, maybe. Wagner now 1 ball and 1 strike to the senior. Strike 2, low and away. Good pitch. The on-deck batter is the power hitting catcher, junior Lauren Scharfenberg. Wagner, though, 1 and 2, has been ahead of every batter here this inning. She winds, fires high, and we've got our first Deuces Wild situation of the night. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Turn card pitch on its way from a quick working Wagner. As the home plate umpire says, just a little bit outside, and the count is full. Wagner twists that ball on her upper portion of her leg, rocks, kicks, and delivers. Strike 3 on the changeup. 3 up, 3 down, 2 strikeouts, no runs, no hits, no errors. We head to the top or the bottom of inning number 1. No score between the Raiders and the Hawks. You're going to see the Viera Hawks 7 times this year on Brevard Sports Network. You're going to see the Rockledge Raiders 6 times this year. You're going to see the Raiders again Monday night right here on BSN. We'll be at the Rock as the Raiders will host a very, very good Bayside team. You have that EG Kicks banner? Okay. I'll have to get it to you. All right, let's take you around the Rockledge infield. On the bump, in the circle is going to be Mikowski tonight. She pitched an inning and a third the other night. She gave up 1 hit, no runs, no walks, struck out 2 as she came in relief of Haley Smith. In the outfield, Daphne Aravina in center, Dalek in left, and over and right is Torres. Around the horn, Bowles at third. Your shortstop tonight is, I believe, Perez, Erica Perez, and it is. And over at second base is Holtz, and your first baseman is Nelson. Your designated player tonight is Ortega. We'll give you their first names, too, but that's how I got them written in the scorebook. And for the Viera Hawks, it's going to be Ryder, Sardono, and Samuels, 1, 2, and 3. And that win over Space Coast the other night, Sardono was 3 for 4 with 2 RBIs. Haley Ryder and Elena Schneider, each with 2 hits in the win. Ryder with a triple as Haley leads it off. Haley, a junior, and a left-handed bat. And Riley Mikowski takes a peek at the wristband and steps in. First and third in, and that ball is just off the plate. And one of the better catchers in Brevard County. You got 2 of the better catchers in Brevard County in this one tonight, Scharfenberg and Ford. High ball 2. And I would think that would be the one thing that Scott Thomas would tell you this year. This team is going to hit. We saw that the other night. The pitching will develop as the year goes on. It's young, but it will get better as the year progresses. And that ball, liked what she saw there, 2-0, and just goes off the head of the bat, foul for strike 1. Good pitch by Riley Mikowski, the sophomore. Bottom 1, no score between the Hawks and the Raiders. Ryder, 2-1, 3-1. Last season, these 2 teams split their season series. Rockledge won the first one, 6-5. Swung on and missed 3-2. Actually, I gave you the stats from that game for the Astronaut game for Rockledge. In that Astronaut game the other night, 5 players had multiple hit games. Dowlick was 3 for 4 with 2 RBIs. Mikowski 3 for 5. Aravina and Peters and Perez all with 2 hits apiece. Now, last year, and there is a chopper foul, in that 6-5 win over Rockledge, Aravina went 2 for 3 with 2 ribbies and a home run in that one. And Perez went 3 for 4 with 3 triples in the victory. Now, the Hawks would come back and pick the Raiders off in their second meeting, 6-1. So the count is full to Ryder. Here's the pitch, and that's a beaut, Clark, on the outside corner. And that is 1 out on the swinging strike from Ryder. That's going to bring up Giovanni Sardono, the senior. The left fielder steps in. Gio. 3 for 4 against Treasure Coast the other night. Couple of RBIs, and she looks at ball 1. Here's a shot to the shortstop. Well played over the first, 2 outs. Nice scoop over there by Perez, and she gets the ball over to Brielle Nelson for out number 2 here, and that's going to bring up Brooke Samuels, the sophomore. That's right down Viera Boulevard for strike 1, 1-0. Slap foul down the right field line. No balls and 2 strikes now to the number 3 hitter, Brooke Samuels. The on-deck hitter for Viera is, I believe I got Amaya Pitt. The 0-2 outside, 1-2 on the waste pitch. Good idea. I like it. Inside. Oh, comes back across the plate and gets her. Strike out with the backwards K, and that'll end the inning. No runs, no hits, no errors, no one left. We head to the top of 2. No score. Hawks, Raiders. All right, welcome back here. Good first inning for both pitchers. 2 strikeouts apiece as we head to the top of the second inning, and it'll be Scharfenberg to lead it off, followed by Bowles and Nelson. And Skylar Wagoner, what a career she's had. Now, up until this season, Viera didn't keep any stats on Max Preps. They kept stats, but there's a strike. They just didn't put them on Max Preps. So I can't give you her career numbers, but they're impressive. 2 years ago, obviously, we followed them as they went all the way to the Final Four. And that ball was popped up and out of play. And Skylar Wagoner is ahead of her 4th straight batter in this one. We okay?
Yeah. Doug Butler asked if McCloskey for Rockledge is.
Yes.
Okay.
Has to be. Look at the hair. Just on the outside corner. No, I don't know, but I would imagine so. When you see Devin Mikowski coming around that corner in cross country, the first thing you look for is the hair. High, ball 2. Two balls and 2 strikes now to number 22. To have a head of hair like that again in life. The 2-2. And nice job by Scharfenberg to foul it off and stay alive. If anybody knows, can keep me up to date on great players like Chase Jackson. Doing some good stuff in college softball. And again, we put up a thing last night, finished the thought after the pitch, and there's a shot up the middle. Scharfenberg with a line drive, base hit all over that. Delivering, and the Raiders are off and running here in the top of the second inning with Bowles stepping in. We put up a thing this morning on Alan Espinal. He's the backup catcher at Vanderbilt right now. He's only played in 2 games, 7 at-bats. He's got 3 home runs, a grand slam, 9 RBIs, leads the Commodores, the Vanderbilt Commodores. I mean, we're not talking about any old baseball team here. We're talking about one of the top powerhouses in college baseball. So whether it's Vanderbilt or whether it's Diamaz Ross at FSU, please, or softball, please send us the information on these student athletes so we can keep everybody updated how they're doing. It's not all about football. Pitch, and that's a bunt, and oh, what a play by Maddie. That's why we say she's built Ford tough. Maddie Ford with the dive, and 1 out. Nice job. And Nelson will step in. Right-handed hitting Nelson. Left-handed hitting Nelson, I'm sorry. Keel. Wait a minute, that's not right. Yeah, that's right. I'm like, what have I done here? This is Brielle Nelson. Pinch. We got a pinch runner at first. Tell you who she is in just a second. Swung on and missed at the tailing fastball.
That's 20.
I believe that's Ayana Sandy, sophomore out there pinch running for the catcher, Scharfenberg. Here's the 0-2. Strike three called on the outside corner. Beautiful pitch. And it's 2 outs. And Ortega steps in. Mia Ortega, junior. There's a strike. 0-1. The 0-1 inside, 1 ball and 1 strike now. 2 outs here in the top of the second. No score between the Raiders and the Hawks. That's just straight heat there for 0-2. We had an opportunity the other night to see the defending 6A state champs, who no doubt Viera will battle for that district championship, and I'll give you my thoughts on that coming up in a minute. Strike three, swung on and missed, and after the leadoff single by Scharfenberg, the Raiders go down in order as 2 strikeouts and a great diving play by Maddie Ford. We head to the bottom of the second. No score. Had a chance to see Melbourne the other night. And I would say this. Obviously, Melbourne is going to be a team that is right back in the mix for another 6A state championship. When you've got the best player in the circle in the state, that's a given. But the one thing that I would say is, and this to me goes back to last season. Now, they faced a lot of great pitching at the end of the year, which is why you saw the average tail off a little bit. And they faced a great pitcher in Heather Rue the other night for O'Galley. But I think the thing that Melbourne's going to have to do a little bit better this year than they did at the end of last year and they did the other night is they're going to have to swing the bats a little bit better. And I think, I'm not saying anything that I don't think the Bulldogs don't know themselves. I mean, they've got some great hitting talent on that team. Alicia Thompson, Nadia English. You know, Nadia is one of the best pure softball hitters I've ever seen. Camden Hurd, you know, had a nice hit the other night going the other way. And, of course, there's Haley Clutch Turner. So, I mean, this is a very good team, but they're going to have to swing the bats more consistently. All right, we head to the bottom of the second inning, and the Pitt commit steps in. That is Amaya Pitt. She'll look at strike one on the outside corner. Amaya, just a junior, and that's the beauty of an early commit. We get to see her play for 2 more years. And Mikowski with a peek at the wristband for the pitch. And the 0-1 to Pitt outside. I tell you, Amaya works hard. Very hard. You see, I've seen her every time I've gone to Uberzati. I think Amaya Pitt is there. The 1-1. My goodness gracious, she turned on that. And you see the Pitt on the side of her helmet. It is. Well, especially since it's her last name. You know, I mean, it is really cool. You know, I wish I could have committed to Salterzinski University. And the off speed from Mikowski is a thing of beauty. And she'll sit the Pitt commit down with a strikeout, and that'll be one out here in the bottom of the second. And that'll bring up Torrey Berry, a sophomore. That was just a great pitch. What do we have tomorrow night? Any track and field events tomorrow? Well, we got 33 new tracks in the county. Certainly somebody's hosting one, right? Obviously, I'm exaggerating a little bit. 1-0.
Oh no, Doug Butler's still on.
He can probably let us know.
Freddie Goins was on too, so you know.
Okay. Nice pitch inside. Swung on and missed. 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 out. Skylar Wagner on deck. She got a little pop in her bat, too. Here's the pitch to Berry. That'll miss. 2-1. Easy peasy lemon squeezy for you tonight, huh? Just sit back and watch. Get you some popcorn, son. Swung on and miss on the off speed, and it's 2-2. That's a beautiful changeup. Not only does she really pull the string on that, but you'll notice that pitch floated inside. She put a little spin on it, too, and that makes that even tougher to hit. That's right. Here it comes. And that ball is lifted into center field. Track caught. That is Daphne Aravina out there, and that is out number 2 as Wagner will step in and face her counterpart, Skylar. Headed to Jacksonville University. The Dolphins, that is correct. Skyler with an opportunity here, as Mikowski had earlier, to help her cause. And there's a shot, and nice stop. I tell you what, that's a hit. That's an infield hit there. That was a great effort by the second baseman. That ball bounced off her chin. Taylor Holtz. Nice try. What'd he say? Oh, wow. I didn't know that. I just thought we built them and all of a sudden we could compete. Well, I know a lot of them don't have the capacity for field events. So, help me out. Well, is there an event tomorrow, Coach? Let me know. Try to figure something out. I have to check the schedule when I get in. We got a big board hanging up in the studio. See what's on it. I know where we're going Saturday. DeLand, Florida, as the Viera Hawks will take on Fort Myers in the 6A State Soccer Championship. And that ball is lifted down the left field line. The Hawks making their second straight appearance in the 6A State Championship game. Now, we can't broadcast it. It's on the FHSAA Boxcast Network. It's $9.99. But I like the Hawks' chances here. I really do. We're going to have a pregame show, a halftime show, and a postgame show. Myself, Caleb, and Matt Shelton will deliver that to you.
And isn't it crazy? Viera goes back to the 6A State Championship. Doral Academy moves up to 7A.
Popped up. And the first baseman has it and corrals it for the third and final. Are they going back too?
No, they got eliminated.
Did they?
I believe in a regional semifinal.
And Matty Ford pops out, and that'll end the inning. So one hit in the inning from Skylar Wagner. No runs, one hit, no errors, one left. We head to the top of the third. No score. All right, welcome back here to beautiful USSSA Space Coast Complex. We got a good one brewing here as the Viera Hawks, Skylar Wagner, and the Rockledge Raiders. Riley Mikowski in a pitcher's duel. Dalek, Torres, and Holtz here for the Raiders. Swung on and missed by Aradalik, freshman. I think I'm saying her first name right. I hope I am. Good crowd on hand here tonight. Wagner with the 0-1. Bunts. That's a pretty bunt. Wagner turns, fires, throws it away. And down to second with an opportunity. They got her. Beautiful throw. Absolutely great throw. How about that play? So if you're scoring at home, that's going to be an E1 on the first, and then a 9-6 on the out. Just a rocket of a throw there by Samuels in right field, Brooks Samuels. And that's one out. So again, that's an error on the pitcher and a 9-6 on the putout. And this is Bianca Torres, who looks at strike one. Infield in, expecting something on the ground here. Swung on and misses. She tries to slap it down the third base line. Strike two. Strike three. Maddie Ford has to give it down, and that is a strikeout swinging. The fifth of the night for Wagner. And that'll bring up Mikowski, top of the order.
Doug Butler said Friday, March 3rd, 27 teams will be at Satellite for a track and field event.
Okay. Swung on and missed. Strike March 3rd. Now, Caleb, if we aren't there on March 3rd, I'm sorry, but it's going to be on you. And the attempt to bunt and the miss makes it strike two. We will certainly go home and take a look at that calendar. Strike three for the third and final out. No runs, no hits, one error, none left. We head to the bottom of the third. No score between the Hawks and the Raiders. All right, welcome back here. Stands are kind of dark, but it's going to be Schneider, Connolly, and Ryder back to the top of the lineup, 8, 9, and 1. Well, we've talked a lot about Scott Thomas, but we have not talked about the new skipper for the Viera Hawks. Now, we cannot do that. We must give Coach Jason Adams his due and love. And, of course, he comes over from Palm Bay where he was an assistant. And tell you what, it's going to be a lot of fun watching Coach Adams with these ladies this year. And, this is a team with a lot of potential. And Jason is an outstanding softball coach. He's got a lot of experience. He was a great hire by Maggie Davis. And I'm excited to see what the program can do with Jason at the helm here. And the first pitch offering from Mikowski is high and outside to Elena Schneider, the sophomore. He's got a young team. He's only got 3 seniors. Inside. Now, a lot of people are going to say that's not a strike. But you got an old school umpire, and what he's telling you is it's not where it lands, it's where it crosses the plate. And that ball came back across the plate for a pretty strike. Sort of like a screwball a little bit there. Opposite side. And there's a chopper. That's fair. Oh, my. I thought that ball bounced off the line as she fielded it. Looked fair to me, but when I say old school umpire, I mean that in a respectful way. A lot of new school umpires, they give you that zone, and it is where it is, but it is where it crosses the plate.
You were correct. It bounced on the line.
Yeah, no, that's a fair ball. Pitch, and that one, see, the difference there is that one didn't. That one started inside and stayed inside. And it's 2 balls and 2 strikes. Nobody out here. Bottom of the third. Another good one here tonight. And there's a little looping single in the left field. So, as Viera did in their 2 innings ago, and Scharfenberg led off with a base hit. Elena Schneider leads off with a hit, and always a plus when the bottom of your order can get on base here. And that'll bring up the number 9 hitter, McKenna Connolly. And I would imagine McKenna will be trying to advance the runner here as the first baseman and third baseman are camped out probably 15 yards away from the plate. The pitch, she swings. I like the aggressive approach there. Oh, and 1. Top of the order on deck in Haley Ryder. Outside, runner goes. Great throw by Scharfenberg. And she got her What a throw by Lauren Scharfenberg. That's a CS caught stealing. And there's one out. It's a good jump, just a great throw. And the 1-1 is popped up and hauled in for out number 2 by the second baseman, Holtz. So in the blink of an eye, you go from the leadoff hitter aboard to 2 outs. And back to the top of the lineup with Haley Ryder. Haley struck out her first time up. She's 0 for 1. Outside for a ball, 1-0.
That one didn't go where she wanted it because her hand clipped her.
How many are? Maybe nobody. Maybe nobody.
No, people watching because
Outside, ball 2.
we got comments pouring in.
Okay. Riley Mikowski has fallen behind to Haley Ryder, and the foul tip, and it's 2 balls and 1 strike with 2 outs here in the bottom of the third. No score. 1 hit apiece for each team in the game. Second time around in the order. Rockledge will have that luxury. They started that luxury last inning with Mikowski. The 2-1, and that ball is crushed, lined down the first baseline, but foul. And we are in a deuces wild situation. 2 balls, 2 strikes, and 2 outs to 22 at the plate. What will the turn card pitch be from sophomore hurler Riley McKenzie? It's a changeup outside for ball 3, and she certainly wanted that one. Now the wind is blowing straight in right now, but it's Viera, and what that means is that could change at any moment. So here comes the 3-2 payoff with 2 outs here in the bottom of the third. And there's a slow roller down the first base line. Safe. And a good hustle play by Haley Ryder. She'll beat out a little infield single with a 2-out base hit. And that will bring up the number 2 hitter, Gio Sardono. Gio is 0 for 1. She grounded out to the shortstop her first time up. And I tell you what, the fact that Scharfenberg threw out the last runner is not deterring Coach Adams from the aggressive base path, the aggressive running on the base pass, as Ryder was running on the pitch.
Says, can you do it consistently?
Lauren's that good of a catcher. And this time she holds up, and that's a ball. 1 ball and 1 strike to one of the 3 seniors on the Hawks roster. The other two are Maddie Ford and Skylar Wagoner. Mikowski inside. Ball 2, 2-1. There's a little liner down the right field line, but about 8 feet foul. And we are once again looking for a turn card pitch here on the table. 2 balls, 2 strikes, and 2 outs with a runner on. And there's another deuce at the plate, number 2. Here's the deal pitch, and there's a shot to the second baseman, cleanly fielded up and over to first for the third and final out of the inning. Just another good play by Taylor Holtz. So we go to the top of the 4th inning. No score. Back with, give you the lineup here, back with Aravina, Perez, and Scharfenberg when we return. Little Vince Neil, Nikki Six, Tommy Lee, and Mick Mars in the background. If you don't know who that is, that are the 4 members of the band Motley Crue as Kickstart My Heart blares here at USSSA Space Coast Complex as we head to the top of the 4th inning with no score between the Hawks and the Raiders. As Daphne Aravino will step in, she struck out her first time up, 0 for 1 tonight. As Skylar Wagoner has 6 Ks on the night, and she starts Daphne off with a pretty pitch on the black for strike 1, swing and a miss. Tried to bunt, and that'll be 0-2. Daphne last year was a candidate for our Player of the Year, I believe. Batted .394 last year. Outside, good waste pitch, 1-2. And she got off to a spectacular start against Astronaut the other night. She had a couple of hits in that one. All right. The 1-2. Maddie Ford froze that one. And the home plate umpire says, just a bit outside. 2 and, it says 1-2. I think it's 2-2. Could be wrong, but I know it is 2 strikes. Change up. Fouled off, and Ford squeezed it, but I think it trickled out of her glove. It does, and the count will stay at 2-2. There's a base hit. Oh, Maya Pitt nearly with a great diving play. I'll tell you, she almost made me eat my words there. And that's a base hit, but an excellent try by Amaya. And Daphne Aravina is on with a leadoff single the second time tonight. The Raiders have put the leadoff hitter aboard. And that'll bring up Erica Perez. The infield is first and third are in. Erica looked the bunt, pulled the bat back, but the ball is called a strike. 0-1. Nice try by Amaya, man. It was just a great effort. And I think Viera senses some sort of a play here. Maybe a steal, maybe a hit and run.
That would be my train of thought.
You're going to have to manufacture something tonight. Both of these pitchers, and look, the pitching's always ahead of the bats, I think, this time of the year. Certainly saw that in the Melbourne O'Galley game the other night. Squares the bunt, and that's back to the screen, and it'll be strike two now. Even in the baseball game we did Monday night between O'Galley and Martin County, I mean, we had a dual no-hitter by both teams going into the eighth inning. Aravina's, I'm sorry, not Aravina. It's off the plate for 1-2. Perez, Erica Perez. Pitch swung on and missed for a strikeout. 1 out here in the top of the fourth. Seven of them in the books now for Skylar Wagoner. And here's the one player that has an absolute solid base hit off of her, Lauren Scharfenberg, who's 1 for 1. She singled, throw from Ford. Oh, the umpire says good stolen base slide. Ball was there. Just so was the runner. So that'll be an SB for Aravina and the Raiders now with Scharfenberg at the plate, who singled the last time off of Wagoner, have a runner in scoring position with 1 out here in the top of the fourth. 1 strike to Lauren. And nice pitch. That ball tailed in and is fouled off the inside portion of Lauren's bat. And Wagoner is quickly ahead, 0-2. So now Lauren's going to have to protect here. Can't be picky now, but you got to protect the plate. Wagoner may try and waste something here. It's a little off speed. Let's see. She comes right back across, and an inconsistent call there, in my opinion. That was a strike based off of what we had seen from the previous couple calls, but he's been great all night behind the plate. He's entitled to miss one. 1-2. That's it right there. Strike 3 called. Nice pitch on the backwards K, and Scharfenberg strikes out. For the second out. Still a runner in scoring position here for Araya Bowles, the senior. We talked about how young Viera is. Well, how about this, Caleb? Viera's got 3 seniors. Rockledge has just 2. I mean, we're going to see a lot of great battles between these two teams. I can't wait for the battle between Viera and Melbourne coming up. Melbourne's going to come over here and play this year, which we have not seen in a couple of years, I don't think. I've never broadcast a Viera Melbourne game here, right? Bowles steps in. She's showing a bunt here. I was going to say, I don't know if I'm buying that with 2 outs. Strike 1. Satellite. Coach Fadul last year brought a satellite team over. The 0-1 swung on And missed for strike two. So Wagner allows the leadoff single and has since struck out the last two batters she's faced. Can she rebound here and get all three? Wagner gets the sign from Maddie Ford. She winds, kicks, and fires. Indeed, she does. And she'll strike out the third batter of the inning in bowls, and that'll end the fourth batter of the inning in bowls. That'll end the top of the fourth. No runs on one hit, no errors, one left. We head to the bottom of the inning. No score between the Hawks and the Raiders. Riley Mikowski with quite an outing herself here tonight. She's got 3 strikeouts in this one. And one thing about a Scott Thomas coach team that you can always bank on, they are always going to field the ball. They're going to be an outstanding fielding team. They just are. And this team is no different this year, as you can see in this one. And it gives you the confidence to go out and throw a freshman and a sophomore consistently, knowing what you have behind you. And Samuels will step in and lead off the bottom of the fourth. She was one of the 3 strikeout victims for Mikowski back in the first. And that is high and inside for ball 1. Samuels, a sophomore. Brooke Samuels. And there's a chopper up the middle. Nicely fielded and gunned over for the first out of the inning. And that is precisely, Caleb, what I'm talking about. That is just an outstanding play there by the Raiders defense. And Erica Perez, if you're scoring at home, that's 6-3. See the gun on her, throwing that thing across the infield? And Amaya Pitt will step in now. Interestingly enough, the last time Pitt stepped up, she turned on one that would have had fence distance to it had it stayed fair. And she swings over the top of that one for strike 1. Changeup is looped. Tough play, but Perez with the range is there to make the catch. And she records the first and now second out of the bottom half of the inning. And 2 outs now with Barry stepping in. Tori Berry, another sophomore. She flied out, popped out to the center fielder her first time up. Good inning. That's a strike. But Wagner didn't get that last inning. Great pitch. Just a great pitch. She's had that pitch going all night for her. High for a ball, 1 ball, and 1 strike. Last year, Viera was a team that averaged 6 runs a game. They gave up 3. Rockledge a little better in what they scored last year. Last season, Rockledge batted .387 as a team. They averaged another run per game, 7. They allowed 3 per game. Rockledge fell last year in the regional semis to Deltona, and Viera would go down also in the regional semis to Bartow, who would eventually be taken out in the regional finals by the eventual 6A state champ Melbourne Bulldogs. And the count here is 3 balls and a strike. The on-deck hitter is Skylar Wagoner. And that ball is roped into left field for a base hit and a 2-out base hit by Barry. She sat on that 3-1. That's a hitter's count, and Barry makes it pay off for her as the left-handed bat of Skylar Wagoner will step in, and Skylar with a real good opportunity here to really help her calls in the circle. You all right? All right. There's Mikowski now. Outside, ball 1. So that one hit off her leg there, 2-0. So she's now fallen behind the 2 consecutive batters. Let's see what Wagoner chooses to do here. Definitely a hitter's count, one of the best counts at 2-0. And Scott Thomas is going to come in and have a conversation. And I like this circle visit here. I think if Mikowski here, to the right-handed hitters, you love that pitch that comes back across the plate the way she's been getting that tonight and throwing that for strikes. Maybe see if you can try to throw that to a lefty here and let that thing come tailing away. Keep it inside on Skylar Wagoner so that you don't want to put anything out over the plate so that she can get her arms extended on it. Because Skylar can hit. She's got some power. So you definitely want to keep her jammed up. 2-0 with a runner on, 2 outs here. Pivotal point in the game. Mikowski to Wagoner. And she's going to miss with the changeup. She don't like the call, but it was off the plate. 3-0. Now, obviously, you take. Maddie Ford is on deck. The 3-0. And it's 3-1. And that's exactly what she threw her there. She threw that ball that was tailing away on her, and it goes off the end of the bat. And the count is now full with 3 balls and 2 strikes. The runner will be off and going on the, well, once the ball gets to the catcher, obviously. She'll be moving. Pitch. And Skylar nearly laid one down the left field line, but it goes foul. And there's that pitch again tailing away. You got to be careful. Good. AB. And that ball is roped in the right field. Got it out over the plate. And no harm, no foul. It's a 2-out base hit And Skyler will get a pinch runner here. And now the Hawks with a little 2-out rally as Maddie Ford comes to the plate. Maddie popped out to the first baseman, and coming into courtesy run is going to be Addison Maxwell, a freshman. So back-to-back base hits with 2 outs. And Maddie Ford steps in. We okay? Now Riley has fallen behind to both the base runners, Barry and Wagner. Let's see if she can start Maddie. Oh, she hit her. So now the Hawks have the bases loaded with 2 outs. And Elena Schneider, a sophomore, coming up. And Coach Adams is telling her. Now, she got an infield hit her last time up. Big situation here. Every base has a Hawk occupied, but 2 outs here. And Schneider, the sophomore, steps in to face Mikowski. And nice first pitch, and I like it. I like it. Good job by Riley Mikowski there. Oh and 1, she is ahead. That ball is lifted into left field, tracked and caught for the third and final out. So Mikowski gets out of it on a fly ball to the left fielder as we get set to head to the top of the 5th inning. Viera, no runs on 2 hits, 3 left. Still no score here at Space Coast Stadium. All right, we head to getting into the later stages of this one, the final third of the game. Top of the 5th inning, and it'll be Nelson, Ortega, and Dalek. And Nelson swings and misses at the first offering from Wagner, 0-1. Brielle Nelson. As Ford set up just off the plate, that's where Skyler put it, but it's a ball. The 1-1. That's a strike. You can hear that that ball just smacking that mitt. Nice piece of staying alive there. Nice piece of hitting, or foul ball hitting, I should say, by Brielle. And the count will stay at a ball and 2 strikes. See if Skylar takes anything off of this one. She does, and that is a strikeout. She's now into double digits. She had 17 the other night, 10 tonight, 27 so far this season. And that's going to bring up number 15, Mia Ortega. Outside for a ball, 1-0. And Skylar Wagner, if I had to guess, so she's probably about 80% on first pitch strikes tonight. All I can tell you is that missed. I cannot tell you where it missed. 2-0.
Like you said the other night. Hey, you know how I can tell you it missed? Because he called it a ball.
Right. And as soon as I open my mouth, Skylar falls behind 3-0 to Ortega. Man, I'm telling you, if I get a juicy one right down the middle of the plate here, I might be tempted to try to swing at this. And she gets the take sign, 3-1, and Coach Thomas tells her, swing at it. 3 balls in 1 strike, 1 out here, top 5. And she does, and fouls it off, 3-2 now. That was a nice Wagner just turning it around and coming right after her now. The full count, 3-2 from Skylar. Chopper foul. Nice at bat by Mia. Skylar Wagner to Mia Ortega. 3-2, 1 out. Here's the pitch. Strike 3 on a high rising fastball. And the 11th K of the night will bring up Araya Dalek. Dalek the other night had quite a game for Rockledge. She was 3 for 4 with 2 RBIs. That's on the outside corner, and Wagner, who fell behind 3-0 on the last batter, quickly jumps ahead, 0-1. Skylar has 3 strikeouts in an inning once tonight, and that one right back to her, and she'll keep that as that'll go 1-3 and end the inning. 3 up, 3 down. We go to the bottom of 5. No score. Hawks rate us. I think now is probably as good a time as any to make the announcement that we have signed a 15-game deal with the Viera Hawks Baseball RBI Club this year. And you will see 15 Viera Hawk baseball games this season here on Brevard Sports Network. So if you're watching from Viera, you will see 15 games broadcast this season. We'll be there for that one. We will definitely be at O'Galley next Thursday. Caleb was telling me that Kelly Doty made the comment. Oh, yeah, we wouldn't miss that one. As we get set to go to the bottom of inning number 5, and it'll be 9-1-2 as Connolly steps in. Two-face, and Connolly pops it straight up. Good track by the center fielder, and hauled in by Daphne Aravina for out number 1. And Haley Ryder will step in. Haley singled her last time up. She's 1 for 2 tonight. Struck out way back in the first. Misses. One and oh. I'll tell you what, you could see that coming. That ball just, I don't think Riley got as much on that as she wanted, and Haley nearly took her to the fence on that one, but it pulls it foul. And the count is 1-1. My coach used to tell me, Alan, ain't nothing but a long strike, buddy. There's a shot back to Mikowski, and she is up and over to first for out number 2 is Gio Sardono steps in. Gio is 0 for 2. Grounded out to the both middle infielders. The shortstop the first time up, the second baseman the second time up. Yeah, we're excited. 15 baseball games. The majority of them will come from the inside of that stadium over there. Great place to broadcast from. You'll see 15 different Brevard County teams this year as well. There's a chopper to the second baseman, and easy peasy lemon squeezy for Riley Mikowski in inning number 5. 3 up, 3 down. Heading to the top of the 6th. No score between Viera and Rockledge. All right, welcome back to USSSA Space Coast Complex. Beautiful facility here, and of course, across the street now they're building the new Viera Middle School. That ought to be neat, huh? As we get set to head to the bottom of the 6th inning, and what can only be described as a pitcher's duel. Torres, Mikowski, and Aravina, 9-1-2 set to come up here for Rockledge in the top of the 6th. Skylar Wagoner, nice little bunt. Forward in front, throws it down the right field line. But a great, she turned. What's the deal here? Is that, what are we doing here? Is that a hit? I don't understand why she didn't tag her. She turned. You know what I mean? Yeah, she's out.
And I think that's what Scott Thomas was getting clarification on.
Yeah, she turned the corner, and when she did, she got thrown out. So it was a nice bunt. The ball got thrown down the right field line, and again, the right fielder is there to make another great play for, it's the second time tonight that Samuels has thrown out a runner on a ball thrown away. And that time, if you're scoring at home, it's actually an error on the throw and 9-3 on the putout. Slappered, and that's a fair ball. Nice piece of hitting. Great piece of hitting by Riley Mikowski as she helps her cause.
Cameron Houston said the ball hit her outside of the box.
Where? Did it?
I think they're saying on the first baseline, possibly.
Okay. All right. Okay. All right. That makes sense too. So, all right, we'll go with that. So I guess she's out that way. As Riley Mikowski with a nice piece of hitting going the other way, and she'll get a pinch runner here. I can't see the runner, Caleb. Give me a number there. Thank you for that explanation. Who gave me that explanation?
Cameron Houston.
Thank you, Cameron Houston.
I believe that's number 4.
And your courtesy runner is going to be Kayla Kamau. As Daphne Aravina steps in. Daphne is 1-for-2. Singled her last time up. And that ball comes back across the plate for strike one. I can't wait for baseball to start this year. Strong swung on and missed. Strike two. You know, as an Oriole fan, it's not often we are excited about the beginning of a season. But I am. 0-2. Wagner. Nice pitch. Fouled straight back. Nice job staying alive by Daphne Aravina. Erica Perez, the on-deck hitter. One out. Mikowski, who had singled, has a courtesy runner Kamau on first for her. The 0-2, and Maddie Ford wanted it, doesn't get it. 1 ball and 2 strikes. That ball was off the plate. See these Rockledge Raiders again on Monday night as they will host Bayside. Ball is popped off the screen, and Maddie Ford catches it off the screen. That was a little further off the plate, and the count is even up at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Good at bat by Daphne here to work the count even. Not sure why they keep going back there. They're not getting the call, and it's not a strike. 3-2 now. Wagner comes a little closer in, and nope. Nice diving stop there by first baseman Tori Berry, and the courtesy runner Kayla Kamau gets back in time, but that's out number 2 on the soft liner. Tricky little soft liner, but nonetheless a soft liner. As Erica Perez will step in. She has struck out twice. Erica has had an outstanding night at shortstop, too. And she was trying to shoot that one over to where they're building. the new middle school for Viera, and swings through it, 0-1. And a good pitch, 0-2 now with 2 outs. Wagoner has at least 1 strikeout in every inning, but this one, as there's 2 outs here. And there is, the streak is alive as Wagoner sets down Perez for the 3rd and final out. No runs, 1 hit, no errors, 1 left. We head to the bottom of the 6th inning, and it's crunch time now. Hawks nothing, Raiders nothing. All right. As I said before, crunch time. Here's we head to the bottom of inning number 6. Samuels, Pitt, and Barry due up. And Mikowski in the circle. I'll tell you what, this is the second softball game we've done this week, and another good one to boot. As Mikowski starts, Samuels off with strike 1. Popped into the gap. The right fielder's there. And again, that's not going to get by him. Nice play out there. Good track, good haul. 1 out. That's Torres out there. Bianca. And Amaya Pitt steps in. Amaya tonight popped out to the shortstop and struck out back in inning number 2. She's 0 for 2. The Pitt commit. Looking to get her team rolling here. That's a pretty pitch. 0-1. Tell you what, Amaya pitched down 0-2, but my goodness, what a rip on that one. She's got outstanding bat speed. One ball and 2 strikes to the Pitt Panther commit. And that ball Fouled back to the screen, and count will remain at a ball and 2 strikes. Wagner, in her first start the other night, she threw 101 pitches, as Mikowski threw I'm sorry, I only have Haley Smith, who threw 89 pitches in that game. I don't have Mikowski's pitch count. Pitch, and there's a shot, and fielded by the third from her knees. Got her! Dun-dun-dun! Dun-dun-dun! What a play! A web gem by Kaylee Bowles. And that's 2 outs. They can field. And this will bring up Barry. Tori Berry. Threw her out from her knees. That's impressive all the way across the diamond. Outside and high, ball 1. Nice pitch. 1-1. Ball kind of arced. There's a little slow grounder to the shortstop. Perez up and over to first. My goodness. 3 up and 3 down. And we head to the top of the 7th inning. No score. All right, top of the 7th inning here. Lauren Scharfenberg leads it off. And Scharfenberg, first pitch swinging, and fouls it off the screen for strike 1. Scharfenberg 1 for 2 tonight. Singled in the 2nd, struck out looking back in the 5th. Nice pitch. Jammed her. 0-2. Another one of these games. I love it.
Tell him, Mark Moses, you love these pitchers duels.
Yeah, I just did. We got another one here tonight. The 0-2 to Scharfenberg. Strike 3 called. And that'll be one out. And Scharfenberg goes down looking for the second consecutive time. And that'll bring up Kaylee Bowles, senior. What a play she made. Now, a lot of times they say make a good play on defense, and it translates at the plate. Let's see if she can do that here. Wagner. I mean, that ball came back across the plate for strike one, and really Kelly just didn't have a chance to make contact on that one. That may have been one of her hardest pitches of the night. Nothing and one from Wagner. Nothing in two. Same pitch. Took a little off and quickly ahead. And this is typical Skylar Wagner. Wagner to get better as the game progresses. Strike 3 on the changeup. That's strikeout number 14 for Skylar. She's got 31 so far in 13 and 2/3 innings pitched this year. You do the math. We got a pinch hitter here, as Haley Smith will come in to hit. Two outs, top 7. Too far outside, ball 1. Great game tonight called by home plate umpire. That's a strike. 1-1. And another good pitch on that inside portion as it comes back across the southpaw with an. She cross you up. Oh, a hitter. So an HBP, that'll be the first one of the night for Rockledge. Viera has an HBP, and that's going to bring up Mia Ortega. And Mia is 0 for 2 with 2 strikeouts. Strike 1. Strike 2. Inside, outside. Location is as meaningful as is pitch speed. And right now, on the last 2, Wagner has been perfect with her location. The 0-2 fouled straight back to the screen. Once had an opportunity to interview a pitching coach, and Ray Miller, long time ago, and ask him what, not really an interview, just a long conversation with him, and ask him what was the most important aspect of pitching. What is the most important aspect of pitching? And he said 2 things. He said location, 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 and changing speeds. That was it. That's what he told me. And it was very specific in that order. 0-2, 2 outs. Here's the pitch from Wagner. And Maddie Ford bobbles it as the home plate umpire asked, did she go? And the infield umpire says, no, she didn't. And the count will go to 1 ball and 2 strikes. Two and two, so a deuces wild situation. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Turn card pitch coming from 82. Skylar Wagner. And a nice at-bat by Ortega, Mia Ortega, as Mia stays alive, doing her best John Travolta impression. Saturday Night Fever. Too young for that, Caleb. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. The turn card pitch popped up, playable. And nice job by the second baseman for the third and final out. Well, 1 run wins it now for Viera. Let's see what they can manufacture here, if anything. This has been a straight pitcher's duel tonight. And I can't imagine that anybody else but Riley Mikowski is coming back in that circle. So we go to the bottom of the 7th inning for the Viera Hawks. It'll be Wagner, Ford, and Schneider. So good opportunity here for a good portion of this lineup. Everybody's dancing on the field. Skylar's dancing in the on-deck circle. Girls out there dancing. I tell you what, the Raiders are here. The Raiders are here in this position tonight because of the way they fielded the ball. Oh, we do have a new pitcher. So our new pitcher is going to be Haley Smith. Now, Haley pitched 5 1/3 innings the other night. She gave up 5 hits, 3 runs, 3 walks, struck out 4 in 24 batters faced. She threw 89 pitches in the 15-3 win over the Astronaut War Eagles the other night. So a good one here. What an outing tonight by Riley Mikowski. I mean, what can you say? She gives up just 3 hits, no runs. Perfect outing. I mean, not statistically, but that's all you can ask for. And Skylar Wagner will step in, and to say she has an opportunity to help her cause would at this point be an understatement. Skylar is 2 for 2 tonight. 2 singles. What's going to be interesting is to see if Viera comes back with Wagner in the 8th. All right, we seem to be having when to figure the last inning, we seem to be having technical difficulties on the other feed, so join me over here. I'm going to have Caleb end that broadcast. So, Caleb, if you would.
Ended.
Skylar Wagner, 2 balls and a strike here. Bottom of the 7th, nobody out here. The pitch, and foul down. 2 balls and 2 strikes. The 2-2. And there's a base hit for Skyler. So the Hawks with the leadoff runner aboard. So Wagner with the leadoff hit. And a solid one at that. And that's going to bring up Matty Ford. And a pinch runner in. And Wagner's 3 for 3 tonight. Pitch, they bunt. No play at second and no play at first. And that's going to be a bad base running mistake. That's just not a smart base running mistake. And right out of, can't do that. Great bunt. Great play by Rockledge to get the runner. Matty Ford will reach on a base hit, and that's going to bring up Schneider. So the base running error has it at 1 out. Sound okay? That's a strike. So new life for the Raiders. With the new pitcher, Haley Smith, a freshman. High for a ball. And look, you'll learn from that. You know, that's a freshman, and you just learn from those things. You'd rather learn that now in this game at this point in time of the season than in a playoff game in May. Pitch, swung on and missed. Straight heat. 1-2. One on, 1 out. 1-2 is the count. The pitch. Strike 3. 2 outs. That's the first strikeout of the night for Haley Smith. And we're going to get a pinch hitter in Kara Burwell, sophomore. We good? Apologize, we had to switch streams, but beautiful all night, and then all of a sudden it locks up on us in the 7th inning. All right, Burwell steps in with 2 outs here and a runner at first. And bottom of the 7th, outside, ball 1. I mean, if you're Rockledge right now, you've got to feel really good. You know, if you can get out of here without giving up a run, and obviously you get another chance to bat, man, you just really got to feel good about your chances. Pitch. That ball is lifted into right field, but as they've done all night long, they play it well and record the out. So we head to overtime. Extra innings here at USSSA. No score between the Raiders and the Hawks. And Skylar Wagoner will return for the top of the 8th here, where she will face 2, 3, 4. No, check that. I'm sorry. She's going to face 781 or 891. 891. So Dalek's going to step in against her. I was looking at Viera's scorecard. Dalek steps in, right-handed hitting Dalek to face Skylar Wagoner. And that gets in the hole. This could be 2. And it throw to second, and it is. Safe at second base is Dalek with a clutch hit. The ball went off the shortstop. It was a base hit. Bounced off of pitch club and then rolled to the wall on the left field side. Not the wall in the outfield, but the wall down in foul territory. And it allowed Dalek to take second. And the Raiders with a runner at second and nobody out here in the top of the 8th. This is Bianca Torres, and she looks to bunt. And they got to be careful throwing the ball around. You cannot throw the ball around like that in the later innings unless you're absolutely certain that you have that runner, and that was not a certainty.
They're lucky that ball didn't hit too hard.
Well, had the runner spotted the fact that she'd be at third base right now, you know, you got to protect the ball. I get it. I like the aggressive nature of the play, but there's just a time for it. Pitch popped, and it's strike 2. And this is where Skylar Wagoner is one of the best you'll see. This is where she bears down here. She's got 2 strikes to Bianca Torres, and she knows right now it's on her to get this out. And this is a big one here. If you can get this out via the strikeout without advancing the runner. And there it is. We go back to the top of the lineup with the young lady that started in the circle tonight for Rockledge and pitched 6 strong. And that's Riley Makowski. She is 1 for 3 tonight. 1 out here. What a play. The ball is out, but I'll tell you what, that is a great play by Viera. Nice play by the shortstop, Amaya Pitt. Now they got a runner at third with 2 outs, and that's the furthest Raider runner has advanced all night, as Viera had the bases loaded at one time. But Amaya Pitt throws out Riley Makowski. That's a good play by Amaya. She checked the runner, held the runner, and then got the sure out. Good headsy base running. And now you've got the best hitter for the Rockledge Raiders facing one of the best pitchers in Brevard County with a runner at third in extra innings. You couldn't ask for more. Daphne Aravina and Skylar Wagoner inside 2-0 to Daphne. Base hit scores a run. And Maddie Ford wants to talk to Skylar Wagoner here. 2 outs, 2-0. What a great ball game this is. I've done 3 games this week. This is the 3rd game, 2 softball, 1 baseball. And the combined score of all 3 games is 5-0. Two and 0. 2 outs, runner at third. Big hole up the middle, Caleb. That's off the plate. And look, I kind of like this approach. So run at third is going to hurt you. Aravina's got a great bat. Don't give her anything obvious to hit, and Wagner's not doing that. I like this approach with Aravina, who batted .398 last year. She'll take the outside corner for strike 1, 3-1.
Apparently got a bunch of members of the Viera boys soccer team all joining in on the broadcast.
Oh, very cool.
Alvy Kaufman, Caden Sickler.
Nice. That ball is popped up and out of play, and I thought that time the count is full with 3 balls and 2 strikes. Obviously, we will be up there Saturday. We can't broadcast it because it's a state championship game, but it'll be on the FHSAA Boxcast. We're going to do a pregame show, a halftime show, and obviously a wrap-up show. Myself and Matt Shelton. The pitch, strike 3 with the big change-up. And Matty Ford says, nice job, Skyler. And the Hawks now will come to the top or the bottom of the 8th. As the Raiders strand a runner at third, we go to the bottom of the 8th. Still no score. Back to the top of the order for the Viera Hawks. It'll be 1, 2, 3. And Ryder, Sardono, and Samuels here want to win it. 1-0. If Viera will be the final, unless they hit like a 3-run home run. What a great game, though, huh? No score, bottom of the 8th. Skylar Wagner and Riley Mikowski have just both pitched their hearts out and coming on in relief. The freshman Haley Smith with a great job back in the bottom of the 7th to get the Hawks as a breath of fresh air for Viera as they leave a runner at third for the Raiders in the last half inning. And that is ball 1 from Haley to Haley. Riley Mikowski now at first base, and she is 10, 12 steps in. They're going to ask him to turn the lights off in the outfield. I don't know why they just don't run that all the way around. Yeah. 1-0 to Haley Ryder from Haley Smith. The pitch, high and outside. Ball 2. Both of these teams have defied odds tonight as the leadoff runner has gotten on 4 times, 2 each for each team. And obviously, you know I'm a stats guy. 68% of the time when the leadoff runner gets on, they score. Not the case here tonight. The 2-0, 3, oh my. 2-1.
There's a little miscommunication between Daphne.
There's a pitch and foul back to the screen, and the count is now even at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Between the pitcher and the catcher?
Yeah, and
Riley.
Riley's calling something, trying to communicate with the pitcher. Pitcher's also trying to look at the catcher for signs. And
Well, in softball, the signs come from the bench. The coach gives the signal. She checks her wristband and throws the pitch. You'll get location. That ball is looped and into center field for a base hit. That's a great try there. Outstanding effort by the second baseman. And runner at first now. Nobody out, and Sardono steps in, and she had a big game against Treasure Coast. She was 3 for 4 with 2 RBIs. Coach Jason Adams will take one now. And Viera cannot run themselves out of an inning here. They have been thrown out tonight on the base paths, and last inning, a base running error cost them an opportunity to win the game. 1-0 to Sardono. Outside, and Haley Smith has now fallen behind each of the first 2 hitters as she has fallen behind Gio Sardono 2-0. Bottom of the 8th, nobody out, no score here. We talk about deuces wild, zeros are wild in this one. That's right down Viera Boulevard. Purdy pitch. 2-1. Inside, little dribbler. They won't get the lead runner. And they won't get the front runner. That ball is thrown away. And holding up at third base is Haley Ryder on the throwing error there right in the field. And that's going to bring up Samuels second and third. And I would think you got to put her on. You have got to put her on, I would think, here. I know you don't want to pitch to the number 4 hitter, Amaya Pitt, but what you definitely want to do is have a force at every base here. With nobody out. As Jason Adams tells Samuels. And I think here comes Scott Thomas to talk just that strategy. What are they going to do here? And I think Coach Thomas, who's won 64 of 89 games in his first 5 years, he knows he knows what's best. He knows what's absolutely best here. Great softball guy. And he's going to tell the umpire, we're going to go ahead and put her on. We're going to take a shot at Amaya Pitt, and that's exactly what the call will be here, as Samuels will be put on to first base, and he will not pitch it, as Samuels will drop the bat and go to first. Hold on, and here it is. And that's the intentional walk to load the bases. And it's up to the Pitt commit, Amaya Pitt. And the infield will come in. And it's a junior against a freshman. Bases are juiced, nobody out. And the Hawks need one to win it. Crowd is on their feet. And Amaya Pitt will step out. Think you can do anything here but just throw strikes. You don't want to fall behind. And Smith to Pitt. And there's a ground ball to third base. Tags. 1, 2. What a play! Double play! That's a double play, and there's 2 outs, Caleb. Tagged the runner that was standing on third, and then stepped on third for the out. What a play. And Bowles, Kaylee Bowles with just an unbelievable play there. 2 outs. Low for a ball as Torrey Berry steps in. Pitch high for a ball, 1-1. Skylar Wagner would be next. I can't believe that just happened. The 2-0. Strike one. Nice pitch on the outside part of the plate. 2-1. And Skylar says, relax, take a deep breath. And, I mean, there was nothing Viera could do about it. Nothing. Popped up, but playable. Skied and caught. And bases loaded. Nobody out. And the Rockledge Raiders get out of the inning. No runs. 2 hits, no errors. 3 hits, no errors. We head to the top of the 9th. No score. Perez, Scharfenberg, and Bowles stepping in as Skylar Wagner returns to the circle for the 9th inning. A little bit of ABBA flying around the place. Perez 0 for 3 tonight with 3 strikeouts. Wagner, 16 strikeouts in this one tonight. 17 in her first game, 16 tonight, 33 through 2 already this year. Pretty impressive. And she ain't lost a mile. Oh, and 1 to Scharfenberg. Nice bunt, push, nobody on first. Yes, there is, throws. Nice job by the Hawks there. I didn't see anybody covering. The pole was in my way. I was like, what happened? But there was somebody there. And a good play by Tori Berry as she flips to the second baseman, who is McKenna Connolly. And that is 1 out. As Scharfenberg steps in. That was Perez. My apologies if I said Scharfenberg. If you're scoring at home, and I can't imagine why you would be still in the 9th inning, that hits Scharfenberg, and that's an HBP, and that's the second one tonight issued by Skylar Wagner, and that's going to bring up the lady that got the Raiders to this point. Third baseman, Kaylee Bowles, who fielded a shot from Amaya Pitt. The ball was hit so hard with the bases loaded that she tagged the runner and then stepped on the bag for a double play. But you got to make the play, and she did. She didn't panic. She made the play. She knew exactly what she was going to do if the ball got hit to her, and she did it. And that is outside for a ball, 1-0. That's what your coaches always tell you from Little League on up. When you're out there in the infield or the outfield, know what you're going to do with the ball if it's hit to you in a situation. She certainly did. Swung on and missed. Strike 1. 1 ball and 1 strike. And we've got a courtesy runner for Rockledge, and it is Ayana Sandy, sophomore. Strike 2 on the off speed. Nice block. Stop by Maddie Ford. Good pitch on the changeup there. And it's 1-2. Bowles 0 for 3 tonight. She's got 2 strikeouts. And she popped out to the catcher, Maddie Ford, who made a great diving catch. And back in the second inning, and the high riser is strikeout number 17 for Skylar Wagner. And the second out. And the top of the 9th. And this is going to be Haley Smith that steps in. Two outs. Runner on first. The pitch to Haley Smith. Popped up and out of play. Strike 1. What a game. Wagner rocks and fires outside. That was in the batter's box. 1-1. Did I see Miss Garza on there? I think I did. Yeah. Let's say hello to Garza. Miss Jenna Garza, I believe. For a place she played, that ball was popped up and out of play. It's Christine Garza, but Jenna Garza last year, senior with the Raiders, had a great year. One and 2, and Wagner. That's a soft liner, and Amaya Pitt is there to corral it in for the third and final out. We now go to the bottom of inning number 9. No score. All right, Skylar Wagner to lead things off here in the bottom of the, yep, you guessed it, ninth inning here. We have played a softball game the length of a Major League Baseball game tonight. And it has been much more interesting. As Skylar Wagner, who has pitched the entire way tonight and has 17 strikeouts, can end it. Or she can at least start a rally to end it. And here's the pitch from the freshman Haley Smith, high and outside. Ball one. Say hello to Alyssa Arnold, the Melbourne Bulldogs. No score here. She was in a game very similar to this the other night. No scores. We went into the seventh inning, and Melbourne picked up 2 runs against O'Galley. Pitch, and that ball is popped up, and it will drift back behind the Viera dugout. Be a good game when Melbourne comes here. Wagner and Francic, I'm sure. The freshman Smith to the senior Wagner. And that ball is rocked into left field for a base hit. And Skylar Wagner is having some kind of game. Aside from all of the strikeouts she has tonight, she is now 4 for 4. 4 singles for Skylar tonight. As Maddie Ford steps in now, the catcher. I think you just got to do what they did before, and that's lay it down and advance the runner here. Try to manufacture this winning run. All I can tell you is that it missed. I cannot tell you where it missed. And the only reason I know it missed is because he called it a ball. O or 1-0. That's definitely high, 2-0. The 2-0, 3-0. And the senior Maddie Ford is making the freshman deal here. 3 straight balls. That'd have been something we lost that stream in the 7th inning, huh? 3-0, squares the bunt, but obviously a ploy to try to get a 4th ball. And it's all Maddie Ford count now at 3 balls and 1 strike with nobody out and a runner at first. Inside, ball 4. And the Hawks once again have runners at first and second to start the inning as number 24, Elena Schneider, steps in. Elena struck out her last time up. I got to think you're bunting here. I just think you got to get these runners over to second and third. And then we're going to see another situation where they're going to have to walk a batter. She's got to get it down. Got to get the bat out. The one thing you don't want to do is pop it up. Oh, wow, down the right field line, but foul. She went the other way with it. Jason Adams is telling her, I like it, but now we got to put it in fair. But the issue here is now it's 0-2. So now you got to hit. Now you can't advance the runner with a bunt. So you got to battle here. You're behind. Oh, and 2, nobody out. Runners at first and second. Here's the pitch. Inside. Oh, wow. Comes back across for strike 3. 1 out. And that's going to bring up number 1, McKenna Connolly. See if McKenna squares the bunt with 1 out here. Nope. Chopper down the third base line. Foul. Foul tip. Strike 2. And Haley Smith has come in and done an outstanding job in the circle. As she is ahead 0-2. Top of the order on deck. And Haley Ryder. Off the fence. And the count will stay 0-2 following the foul ball. Runners at first and second. 1 out. The 0-2 high for a ball. 1-2. I am a little perplexed. I'm just curious. I'll ask Coach after the game why neither of these girls were squaring the bunt here. And again, I don't know the game. I don't know the quote unquote X's and O's of the game. But if I was sitting in a press conference, that'd be one of the questions I ask. And that's strike 3. Haley Smith with a butte there. And there's now 2 outs. Huh? Haley Ryder steps in. Number 22. And the pitch outside for a ball. 1-0. And that would be incredible if the Hawks would have 2 runners on with nobody out again and not be able to score. Unless Haley Ryder can get a base hit here. And even then, that's no guarantee. Got some arms in that outfield. Here's the pitch. And there's a chopper to the shortstop. Oh, she threw it away. And the Viera Hawks are going to win. And that's going to do it. The Viera Hawks have won it 1-0. And an odd way to end a great baseball or a great softball game tonight. What a strange way to end it. An outstanding fielding team makes an unfortunate error at the end. But anytime you get a game like this, that's the type of play that unfortunately is always going to end it. But a great softball game, unless you get a walk-off home run, right, which we weren't going to see tonight with the pitching. But just a great softball game tonight by 2 outstanding teams. Congratulations to the Viera Hawks. They get the 1-0 victory. Our Kendall Signs player of the game tonight. Who else could it be? It's got to be pitcher Skylar Wagoner. She had 17 strikeouts tonight and was 4 for 4 at the plate. So, for Maggie Davis, the athletic director, Greg Claiborne, the athletic director at Rockledge, and for all of you out there, I'm Alan Slaughter-Zinski. Once again, your final score in 9 innings, the Viera Hawks win it 1-0.